Right, on behalf of Matty Michael, g'day, mate. Welcome to Money of Mine podcast.
What is that? No, it's g'day money miners, not g'day mate.
Try again.
All right, try again.
Righto.
Today's 7th of August.
Lead out like start of the show. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
G'day, money miners. Welcome to this Kalgoorlie edition of Diggers and Dealers, Money Mining, etc., etc. Today's the 7th of fucking August already, so welcome. Hope we enjoy it. Some weird characters on today's show. Won't mention any names, but well done, lads.
There we go.
Well done, mate.
I don't think we appreciate how fucking hard it'd be to rock up and do an intro, eh, Trav?
No, I think because you're not eased in yet, and then you ask people to do an intro. It's
Yeah.
like it's the hardest thing to do, especially if you're not like in the groove yet.
Mate, we're right.
It's hard to feel like a Matty, and,
Comfortable.
you know.
Oh, mate, I don't think anyone else in the world can feel like Matty.
Right, we're going like pure random today. We've got a couple of randoms coming in for an interview. We've got this. Are we still saying he's an anonymous character, the one that's next to us?
Yeah, I actually don't know his name. I called him John before. I don't know if that's his actual name.
It's John. His name.
Everyone's known as John.
His name may be John. It may not be. We're not sure.
Everyone's John.
But he knows. This apparent John knows a lot about mining.
He listens to the podcast, and that's enough to sit next to us.
We've had
it.
Donnie Smith's come on from Tempest, giving his views on life. He's so he got some quirky little ideas too. That was bloody interesting.
It's fascinating.
And
He's a good lad.
we're just talking general shit at DeBernales, live from Kalgoorlie.
Diggers and dealers. Have you heard any word on the decline today, Matty?
Apparently, can we say what Vorney just told us? Apparently, Jake Klein's coming to see us on Wednesday.
The podcast,
Evolution.
Yeah. How awesome's that?
Oh,
That's
God,
awesome.
it's like they're doing us a favour, but it's like, fucking hell, we're giving them that much publicity,
Marketing.
like we're doing them a fucking favour. Like, Jesus Christ.
Nah, that's a good one. I reckon Jake would be an awesome interview. I don't think he does too much public stuff, and yeah, I reckon he would be a really insightful person to speak to.
Dave Southam, if you hear stuff through the interview, Dave Southam, ex-Mincor MD, was blabbing his mouth on the footwalk out there.
Yeah.
So,
Mate, what's the go there? Could he drive a ball over 100 yards or what?
we had the golf day and he thought he was really good, but I sort of downplayed it and I beat him in longest drive.
Hey, nice.
I didn't even shoe on it. So, right, let's get into it. We're going to rip the sponsors, the partners. How many? Are we ripping all of them? Have we got a list for today?
I think today's just Terra and
Terra Capital, Langers and Bondi, what absolute gentlemen of the finance industry.
legends.
Absolute GCs.
Are they here? If they better
I
say
don't know.
hello
I
to us
don't
if
think so.
they're here.
I think Langers has been enjoying the finer things in life a bit with the Noosa Mining Conference, and Bondi, not sure. I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Wow.
So Terra Capital, great partners of the show. Bloody love them. If I was going to turn for probably any two blokes, it'd be Bondi and Langers.
And mate, we went to
they're probably
a
in
dinner
queue.
last night.
Mate, you should see these two. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
We went to a dinner last night. Bloody
And big shout out to Top Drill, their fundraiser. So they raised nearly 200 odd grand. So
that's
they had
awesome.
150 grand. So Top Drill had a sundowner, raising money for numerous organisations. Royal Flying Doctors was one of them.
yeah.
Another
Yeah.
local. The name has escaped
you.
me, but it was
Supporting kids who
supporting
grow up with,
kids that haven't grown up
difficulties.
with an easy life. Put it that way.
What, kids that are like from a mining family or something?
No, just like kids that have been born into a world that can't support them, really.
Oh, yeah, it sucks.
So they've raised, well, I don't know if the number was 250, but I think it was pretty close. So they were aiming to raise 150 grand. They've raised well over 200.
Yeah, nice work, brother.
Angela Topham and Tim Topham, right? So they put the whole event on, put all the piss on, all the food, all the band music MCs, and then all the proceeds went to the charities. So
Yeah, good work.
absolute ripping job by them. So and thanks for having us there. So
Beautiful.
yeah. Fucking
I'm excited.
come say good day if you do. Everyone's going to be that fucked up at all the pubs tonight. They won't probably listen or watch this, but it will be there. But in years to come, they will know we are live
I can
somewhere.
tell you who will consume this content, right? It's not going to be any of the people here. Absolutely not. It'll be the bloody junior analyst who's stuck at the desk this week because
Yeah.
all of his bloody
Robbie
directors
Robbie Gibbs. Shaw and
People like that.
Partners. Shout out. They had me on a golf day today.
Yeah.
Cheers, Shaw and Partners. But Robbie Gibbs didn't make the bait.
And that's like when you're a young person, like in a firm, you stay at the desk during diggers, and all the bloody other people get to go. So
You wouldn't
this
think
this one's to the young guys, mate.
But you wouldn't think the way Robbie talks that he was a young guy at all.
No.
Yeah, but he's a shit kicker, unfortunately. So, you'll get here one day, Robbie.
You might have to buy your own way, but hey.
Oh, there's going to be a rapid cut to a heap of random chat.
Yeah, this editing is going to be poor, so apologies.
She's kind of. There's numerous terms I had in underground mining that would explain the process that we'll probably undertake to get this out, but I can't say them.
We did an interview with this gentleman.
She's
and
going to
there
be
was-
rough.
There was some value in that interview, but I apologise because I don't think the cameras were actually recording very well. So maybe you should
Recorded
just
very well or at all.
maybe if you just like give a few nuggets of wisdom for the money miners, mate.
Well, I reckon just black screen and voice. Like, talk about pure anonymity.
Yeah.
Like that. You cannot create more of a mystery than that.
Yeah, but
Now,
you probably
that is
forgot
prime
that
time
editing.
viewing. Fuck, I could just keep going. How good's this? Drink and piss at diggers. Bloody.
Someone left me a beer on the other table.
Oh,
Anyway.
mate. And you
going
bought us
dry.
beers, by the way. John did, if that's your real name, John.
John
Bought us
Smith.
Today it is.
Yeah.
What do you think of Kalgoorlie, mate?
Mate, it's an interesting hole in the ground.
What do you think of lithium, mate?
Oh, get onto that stuff.
What do you think of vanadium?
Ooh, you're turning me on now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Turn you off, mate.
Lithium,
Niobium.
vanadium, Kalgoorlie. Late nights
Yeah,
at
well,
Kalgoorlie.
Yeah.
Where you going
Any of that
tonight,
stuff?
John Smith?
Mate, no plans yet. No
Sleeping in the
plans. I've
car?
just got my car pulled up outside some bank with some video cameras on it,
Nab
just to make
bank.
sure that I'm.
Oh, so you just sleep in your car?
Yeah. Well, what happened? I don't know if I told you earlier, but I forgot to organise some accommodation.
Yeah.
So
You
yeah.
haven't been here since 1995. I'm guessing
Yeah. So '95 was the last time I came through.
they
and
banned you.
Yeah. Look, let's not go there. Due to legal reasons.
were
Still incoming. Yeah. All good, boys.
Oh, there we go.
Loving it.
Cheers, John Smith. So, right, we've got the Greg Norman and the Tiger Woods of Kalgoorlie golf.
Gents, I really want to hear,
now.
not from Matty's mouth, but how was he in golf?
I hate to admit that I didn't actually see much.
Fortunately, we didn't see.
Yeah,
He was a group
we
behind.
went last. So
Oh, I was suspect at how much golf would actually get played
Matty
this
did see
morning.
Taylor's first tee off, first drive this morning. How'd that go?
we saw all the tee offs of everyone else, and Taylor's first drive wasn't a drive; it was a divot, and the club went over the ball and didn't even hit the fucking thing. So, but he had this stance, and he was like, "Oh yes, I'm a member at Mount Lawley."
He looked the part.
And Jesus
make it.
Christ. Good day, boys. Cheers for having us.
Yeah,
How
no,
did it
no
end up?
worries.
I had to fuck off ski after 9 holes because I was.
Who was in your team again?
So I had Steve Maloney,
Yeah, okay.
Matt, the guy from
So Steve was
Liquidity.
handy, apparently.
Steve is handy, yeah. We might have got lucky and got all the good players in one team.
So you guys came in 74.
Yeah.
So it was tie for first.
Oh, piss off.
With us.
You bloody. How many shoe-ons were you?
But
pricks
you won on
kicking?
a. We flipped a coin for the winner, and you guys
Yeah.
won. So
Oh,
you
there
won.
you go. Cheers, bros. Mate, tell you what. Now, tell me about Robbie Gibbs, the enigma of Shaw and Partners. Tell you what, I've never witnessed a bloke come across like he's been in the markets for 25 years and he's just started his apprenticeship last week. Talk about having the gift of the
got
gods.
he's-
a lot of
He's got
enthusiasm.
the gift of the
that's
gab,
for sure.
doesn't he?
He is very enthusiastic.
Nah, he's a good lad.
He is a bloody GC, isn't he?
No, he's great. Great.
Great
bloke.
to have around the office.
Yeah, he is.
Knows everyone. Now, you can hold him to this. He reckons he's getting us Chris Ellison,
Yep.
Mark Clark,
Yeah, I'm waiting on Clarkey to come
and
on.
Twiggy.
Oh yeah. Mate,
gonna
I
sort
wouldn't,
them
I wouldn't
all.
put it past him.
He's sorting them all out for us.
He's always got an angle in getting in somehow. So
And Scott Morrison, I think.
That's probably the most likely.
What's happening tonight, boys? Getting a bloody blind as well as
Mate,
dog,
we
are
can't
we?
rest the legs here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just to, obviously golfing, it's a long
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
And it was hot today.
Were you on
Did
the
you
beers
only
already
just
this
get back
morning, or-
now?
Nah.
maybe 2 o'clock wrapped it up.
Oh, lucky I left after 9 then.
Yeah,
That was good. Yeah.
Everyone's enthusiasm was waning towards the back 9 anyway. So
We had one of the guys genuinely throw the towel in.
Who was that?
on the 7-8. He was in our group. His name's
That wasn't
James.
Matty or something
Nah,
else?
I sort of did. What about, where was Bossy? The great
no,
David Bossio.
he was out with his metal detector
Laid
looking
out.
for
He was
gold.
out prospecting.
Oh, right.
Every time he
Is
comes,
that the ciphers that he was talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. But he always goes looking for
Oh,
gold.
he was bloody. I just walked past the Black Cat tent
Oh, good
earlier.
friends.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
yeah.
friends of the show.
Yeah.
That's right. There was this like red dot on my forehead. Like when I walked past, like this laser thing. So I'm not sure what it was. Must have been a coincidence.
Yeah,
So,
you're gonna,
Well, you're still with us, mate. So
I'm still here.
for now.
they'll get you before the
Any
week's
word
out.
on the any word?
Maybe let's turn it back onto you guys. How did you guys go last night?
Nah, not bad. Trav.
I think
Matty
I
was
saw-
pretty
I
responsible.
saw
He was
him
in bed by midnight.
Yeah. No, when I played golf.
That was actually angled at.
Yeah, I made it to bed by 2.
Okay.
With-
So I saw you running around Gold Bar at like 1.
Yeah, I was having some interesting discussions with some good friends of the show. That lasted at least an hour. Trav and I, and then we sort of parted ways. It wasn't as loud as I thought it would be, you know. Gold Bar it was quietening off already. I was expecting everyone to go nice and hard on the first night,
Tonight's
but
usually the.
That's the big humdinger. I want to see a bloody proper Money of Mine intro because the 2 that we've done already have been shit up by other
you boys
people.
need to give it a crack afterwards
Oh,
as well.
mate. Ayo, money miners! Welcome to the new session.
It was better than the one before. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Wait, so I got to say righto? Is that like patent pending?
Good day, money. Wait,
This is what I want.
Matty doesn't admit it, but I reckon he always starts with righto. G'day, money miners.
So this is an example one. It's like, g'day, money miners. Welcome to DeBernales. Now, here we go.
That's not bad.
I
What's
think
on the
I'm
agenda
making
tonight for you
Trav's
guys?
editing hard.
We're.
Floating around.
Mate, yeah, can you wear my vest to the Canaccord dinner?
No, because it's too fucking hot. Like, I can't believe it's like
we're going to be
39,
freezing our balls off here.
39 degrees
Pretty
in the
warm.
bloody exchange last night, and every finance person's got a puffer vest on. I'm nearly. That's why I got shorts on today. It's bloody great.
Yeah.
Nah, boys, right? Thanks for chiming in.
cheers,
You got any word on the decline? You got any shit that's going up that like we probably shouldn't know about?
Probably, yeah.
We won't-
Maybe not on Mike's.
Nah, yeah, right, you nearly
just,
fell for it.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Cheers, lads.
Fuck, here we go. Right, next guest number 2.
good day,
You,
money
might,
miners.
you mightn't have seen guest number 1. Trav's 0 from 2 on fucking this bloody box. You do the intro. Are we going to get everyone to do an intro?
Oh, do whatever you want, man. I think it's just
No,
free
like
for
an
all.
imitation.
Oh, I like that. I'm a fan of that.
Right,
yeah.
so we're going to go like, you've got to... So here's an example, Donny. Okay. G'day, money miners. We're fucking live from DeBernales here. We're bringing you diggers and dealers at the great non-mainstream media form. And here we go. We've got Donny Smith from Tempest Minerals.
Bring it.
There you go. So you need to do that. That is the standard.
Yeah.
We will vote on all the people that... whether they can get to my standard or not.
So I have to
there'll be a
challenge your
best,
accent, is
a
that
best
it?
and the shittest.
I have to challenge your accent, is that it?
Everything.
Yeah, okay. Right. Well, I'm from New South Wales, but I don't know if I can pull that one back.
Come on, boom in.
Good day, Australian listeners. We're here at Life of Mine and Associates podcast.
Wrong name, Money of Mine.
Money of Mine.
Fucking next.
Nah, shit, gone.
1 out of 10.
Oh, what's going on, Dotty? Don't bloody...
No warning, cunt, right?
No warning at all. No, that's good. That's why. Improv. Well, Donny, I want to ask about bloody you. You're one of those... are you getting people come up to you like, I bought in at 20 cents when you were there and now you're back at 2?
I haven't had that in person, but yeah, I do get a fair bit of that online, yeah, sure.
Oh, is that the bloody... Oh, that was a bloody... So when are you finding Golden Grove?
Well, we're still looking, mate. Yeah,
Oh, good.
Try hard. So,
Maybe go look at Golden Grove. Might be right.
pretty sure there's one there, right?
I mean, will it make money if you find it?
What else is the goss in the bloody Aussie copper market, Donny? That'd be your bloody niche, wouldn't it?
No, I don't do niche, mate. I like to stay across everything. But
Yeah.
I think worldwide copper, your previous guest and I are having a big yarn about that while you're on your last
Which
talk.
one?
We're talking about copper. So,
Just copper in general, yeah.
Yeah, and I know, I think it's terrifying worldwide what's coming or could come. If you look at the numbers, even if recycling's at 100% efficiency of what could be done, we need a new Escondida every year for the next 10 years just to meet base supply of copper.
So we were chatting with an analyst before, and I think he holds a similar sort of long-term thesis, but short-term,
What's the copper price then?
Short-term, he's probably more bearish than bullish.
China
Yeah.
demand, residential.
Yeah.
Well, and
I don't think
what's
that's
the
even
driver?
China.
Is that inflation?
Worldwide.
Inflation calming down?
He just thinks China not going to be going ham for
What's
the,
his number?
for
It
the
was
short
like,
term.
Did he say 30%?
He said 50% comes from the Chinese property market of their copper demand, he said, and if that's not getting a good kick along, again, short term. But
So construction in
New-
China is
new
50% of global copper.
no, 50%
50%
of
there.
Chinese demand for copper.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, Chinese demand for copper is substantial.
Yeah, and I mean that was the case in whatever it was, 2008, I think. They were basically making wire out of aluminium because they couldn't get the copper. So
Yep,
and
substitute it, no?
It didn't work because a whole bunch of buildings burned down, but
Shit.
Sounds like you're MD of a copper company.
I am not.
It's a refined pitch. Fucking aluminium.
Yeah, no, I genuinely think there's a real threat to the world because, the analyst guy's right. It's also a pretty myopic kind of look at things too, like full tunnel vision. Because I tell you what, there's a lot of other things around the world apart from China, India for one. If you look at their economic stuff from 2010, it was China before the mega boom that we're in now.
Let's talk about the ASX copper producers then.
Sure.
Aries, Aurelia,
29
29 metals.
Yeah.
In
Samphire.
a world of hurt.
100%. Yeah. You start and I'll give my view. Of course, I know most of these.
What are they
guys,
doing
so-
wrong? Like, what's the issue? Is it just like they're high cost
Grade?
producers and they can't wear the cost?
I don't think they're doing anything particularly wrong. Mining is not a factory, and all of you guys work in the industry, you should know that it's not. This consistent production that people expect is not how geology works. It's certainly not how mining works. And Aeris is a classic example. They're not doing anything particularly wrong. They're in a period where they're not producing a lot because I know at one operation they're doing a cutback, another one they've got a few stopes that aren't working, and that kind of thing. And
They're vulnerable, right? Because they're
29. I mean, they're doing nothing wrong either. They, apart from being giant, they got smashed because of a weather event. So. It's simplifing, but
Look at
But
the asset. Look at the
Golden Grove isn't exactly humming either. That
No,
lost,
no,
that
but
lost
look at
money
all the
as well.
assets. They all have one thing in common. They're very old, deep assets. You
Precisely.
could say that.
Read between the lines.
That's one
return
thing.
to my original comment about the no supply. So.
But they're all old, deep, and not that high grade.
Speaking of deep old mines, holy dooly.
But isn't it funny? Everyone's like, oh, there might, exploration potential, yada yada. But look how much successful. There's not many copper repeats, it appears. Look how many fucking holes you've drilled around Golden Grove trying to find another Golden Grove.
Yeah,
They
well,
don't
isn't that
pop-
many either.
Matty, you'd know as well at De Grusa, mate. They looked long and hard.
They found the Monty deposit. That was 1 million tonne, but there's poles everywhere there. They haven't found a repeat. It's not. I don't think it's. Is it? You'd know more than me in terms of geology, Donny. Is it very different to gold in that sense? Like you can't count on repeats at all.
No, in fact, I'd say it's even more likely in copper than in gold. In VMS deposits specifically,
Yeah, right.
which all of these are. They're well known to existing camps. So obviously Panorama or the Sulphur Springs deposit, Bill Beaumont's thing up there.
Yep.
That's why I moved to WA was to work on that project, and it is a classic camp. There's half a dozen deposits there. There's a big one and there's a couple small ones, and no more have been found yet. But Golden Grove's the same. It's not one ore body. It's half a dozen ore bodies, and it's spread out over 10 k's. And that's why we're there, because we realise that the rocks that everyone were looking for that have those deposits, they continue into our grounds. And we found some of that earlier in the year. Last year. What we think was that it didn't happen to be high grade on that occasion, but these things are in camps for sure. Copper.
What's some of the if you look back in history, some of the greatest copper discoveries?
Oh, look,
In Australia and around the
Australia?
world,
Oh,
like high grade bloody.
I think in copper you can't always, like, grade is king obviously, but you can't always count on grade. Like if you look in the greatest discoveries, you've got to be looking in South America.
South America.
100%. I mentioned Escondida before, El Teniente. There's a whole bunch of them, and a couple of those aren't mined yet, but they're not
Soul
high
gold.
grade. Soul gold is hands down the best
That's
deposit
awesome.
on the planet, in my opinion. It's
Yeah,
just
right.
ridiculous. So, yeah.
Indonesia's got a
got the
fair
good-
few, different to South America.
My word. Yep. Some of them the same. There's giant porphyries, similar nature.
Yeah.
You've also got higher grade ones. Yeah.
Mate, this might crucify your fucking friendships with a lot of people, but can we play overrated, underrated with underdeveloped copper projects?
Oh, this sounds fun, this game, Trav. I'll get you another beer.
Let me think about it. Yeah. not because of the.
We can cut it too if
I'm
you
not,
don't like
I'm not worried about being PC. It's
Yeah.
no. I actually have to think about. You know,
Yeah.
You give me some examples. I'm probably.
Caravel.
Oh,
You can say moderately rated too. that's
Moderate?
fine.
Yeah.
Rex?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Overrated?
Yeah.
Develop.
Great project. I moved here to work on that project. I know it better than anyone on the planet.
Which
I
one,
guarantee.
Sulphur Springs
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Woodlawn?
No, Sulphur Springs. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But they're heavily dependent on the zinc price recovering, correct?
Very much so, and
Yeah.
the problem there's always been the capex. So the only reason that mine wasn't built was because GFC hit the week that we were going to go on the build. So
Wow.
yeah.
When you were working...
CBH Resources, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I know that deposit very, very... And I was a little bit irritated last year when Bill got on stage and said, no work's been done on that project 20 years. That's
yeah.
fucking nonsense. A lot of people worked really hard on that, and that project has great legs, but it's right on the borderline for grade to make it, are going to kill a project. So if you're going to build a big-ass capex there, it makes it hard every time, and that's what VentureX were trying to do.
finance, yeah.
They wanted to ship it from there down to one of the other processing facilities in nearby. So yeah.
Was it there Paulson's when they had that? Or am I just dreaming?
Yeah, no, so Stralo was on the board for VentureX when he was, working through his Northern Star days. He was a Ned for VentureX.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
What about Carnaby?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's
Moderately
great.
related or underrated?
No, I think it's underrated. I think.
Underrated,
Yeah.
okay.
No, I think it's good grade.
AIC?
Don't
They're
know
a producer, right? So
Yeah, don't know about that one. I like the Mariana project, but that's exploration wise, not necessarily production wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Patterson's range, isn't it? Yeah.
No, that's
that's-
the Grisso area. Yeah, so, yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I wouldn't say no,
Yeah.
brother. What are we going? Swanee D for me if they're floating around, mate.
Oh, a Han 3.5, please.
Oh, mate.
Mate.
Jeez.
Oh, mate, I've got to fucking pace myself. I went too hard yesterday.
Should have seen
Podcast over the line,
how he
A lot of
woke
people
up
did,
this
eh?
morning. He's like, oh, yeah, man, I'll drive you to golf if you want. I'm like, mate, you'd be lucky to start the car at the moment. He had a bloody skinful. Thanks, eh? God.
Oh,
Thanks, mate.
I was unwell. There's absolutely no doubt.
A lot of
Yeah.
people made the early pre-diggers mistake last night. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? What are some other
Mate,
controversial
you look like you're
projects?
going to fall asleep in the
Yeah,
chair
you
here.
got
Just
to like
getting nice and,
gradually,
nice and
be
comfortable.
talking under the table.
This is my computer position.
My partner tells me that when I'm like getting a bit drunk, she knows it's time to go home when I start getting horizontal. It's just this thing that I do. So I better sit up straight.
Given us 3 in the RV, I'm a bit concerned.
But you're also like impacted by you had the excitement of diggers and dealers and Trav and the nostalgia of Kalgoorlie. Like
it's
you're in
too
your
much excitement
hometown,
to
you're at the
contain.
bloody exchange.
It's so exciting.
Come back
Mate,
to the
I used to be a
exchange.
Back
delinquent
in
on
the
that dance
day.
floor. out
Giddy
there.
like an 18-year-old.
Back in the
Oh, you guys, so
day.
you're from Power? Didn't you
Yeah,
guys?
this is my hometown,
Yeah, good
mate.
one.
My old stomping ground. How did you become a geo, mate? Were you just like?
Oh, that's a good question. I kind of tend to avoid that question pretty often, but
Because you had just a rock collection at home.
No, it's quite the opposite. I think Maddie knows this, but I don't talk about it on camera much. But I might as well for you guys because I love what you guys do.
Thank you,
so.
mate.
I'm actually multi-generation mining, and so my old man was working in the ISA as a miner well before I was born when he was
Yeah.
20s. and he's insanely strong individual. He was a
Yeah.
elite athlete and stuff.
Yeah.
So he won all the mining
Russ.
records in Mount Isa.
Tell
Was,
bloody go fucking tell. Sorry, mate. Tell Southam to get his fucking ass over here. He's around the corner. Tell him to hurry up.
So did you grow up there, mate?
I did not know. So, but he won all the records in mining, like air leg mining.
Air leg, hard work, right?
Oh, fucking
Real
oath,
fucking
yeah.
hard work.
He could do one air leg with each hand. So
Wow. Yeah,
right.
I've never seen anyone do
It gets
that.
pretty warm up there as well. wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think when they're
So-
I've heard blokes do it when they're doing development drives, like I would say the jumbo you bought. They used to when they used to do it there, like they used to get two machines going, get that one going, then bloody switch them around.
You got it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and so he used to do it on his own, and then some dickhead let a face off on him once, and he got busted up pretty bad. And,
What's a face-off mean?
A face, as in a development face mining.
Wow.
And, yeah,
So the
explosive-
face is the end of the drive.
Yeah.
So then the jumbo goes in, bores the holes in it, fills it up with explosives and blasts it, and then the face is then 4 metres further on. That's how you get the development.
It's a
Yeah.
So when you get 2,000 metres of development, that means you fire 500 faces.
Yeah.
With
Alert.
500 times 4 metres.
side note. English and other languages, German, for example.
Yep, for the bloody good-looking Italian fella there.
There's tons of words
Thanks,
in our
mate.
language that are actually derived from mining, and we don't realise it. So
Yeah.
face, like you'll hear people talk about working at the coal face and that kind of thing. The
Yeah.
reason that word is there is because in underground mining, in the old days, you didn't have tunnels and stuff, or you did, but they were this tall, and so your body's always in a prone, laying down position, and so the area of the tunnel is named after the closest part to your body.
Wow.
So the face is where you would be doing this with your hammer or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's the mining face, and the backs, the wall, the roof isn't called the roof; it's called the backs because it's closest to your backs.
Because you were like, they'd crawl along and you'd say that was your back.
Fucking hell.
And then just if you're walking along, the profiles have like an arch. Oh, thanks, mate. Legend.
Mate.
So the
The profiles have an arch, so it goes backs and then it's shoulders.
Yeah.
So those corners are the shoulders.
Yeah.
And then when you bored the face out, you had knee, like the holes above the floor were called knee holes.
Yeah,
So that's
right.
where your knees are. And then if you left a lump on the floor, they were called toes.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
so
that, that,
Very
that
simple,
stuff,
like.
that stuff flows through into our everyday language, but we
course,
don't
yeah.
realise it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
and that's the mining interest for you then from the
And
No, so
what happened
that's
till
only
then?
the start of the story. So.
Yeah.
Well, so my dad he got a blast put off on him, and it wasn't real great. And so
So it was explosives.
explosive, yeah, and he was injured pretty bad, and the MIM gave him the option of some piddly payout or to be retrained, and so they gave him basically the job as what we would call a fieldy today.
Yeah.
But he worked directly under the chief geologist of MIM, which was a huge company, and it turns out he was really good at it, and so he was a geologist without a degree, and he used to run around the bush, and he found half a dozen major deposits.
Really?
But never got credit for it.
Really?
And he got sick of it and
Yeah.
ran off and started finding deposits himself. And because he was a miner, he had both skills and he'd mine them himself. And that's where I grew up with. So I was
So where did you grow up then?
all over the place. So Queensland, New South Wales mostly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I guess to close out how I became a geo, my mum actually so my dad was down working underground, and my mum went into labour, and she couldn't get anyone on the radio or anything, so she walked down underground. Took her half an hour to get down there, and sort of tapped my dad on the shoulder and went, "How about you take me to fucking hospital, eh?"
Because she was living at a camp where, where there was a mine that he built.
We built a mine out. It was in northern New South Wales and up in the mountains,
Fuck.
hundreds of kilometres from any other human.
Wow.
And that was what I grew up with. So.
Mate,
Wow.
that's wild. When you talk about these deposits, like if you said he found like half a dozen of them,
Yeah.
would we know any of the names of them, or they were just like they were small?
They
He'd
were
mine them
small
and
satellite
they,
pits, yeah.
Yeah.
For Isa, yeah. But
Yeah.
one of them was, I won't say which, but
Yeah.
he was instrumental in that too. So,
Yeah, wow.
A unknown one, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Awesome.
fascinating, mate. But you combine the mining with the geology, and you can be self-sufficient.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I
you-
grew up him just run around, him finding things and then starting little mines, and I had no interest in being a miner, in working in the industry at all. In fact, he forbade me to do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's one way to get someone interested. Just tell them they can't do it.
you got it spot on.
Do you
But
think,
no,
do
I
you
went.
think his reluctance to get you in there was because of his experience with the explosives? Or?
Oh, because he works so hard.
Yeah,
He
okay.
didn't want me to have to go through.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And of course I have, but this week I'm out the other side too. But I went to uni actually to study language, and when I was there, I happened to attend the introduction to geology lecture.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck this! I get to go on field trips, and
Yeah.
and I'm not going to be sitting in a lecture theatre all day. I can go look and do something practical. So I did it, and
Yeah.
haven't looked back, and I love it. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, mate. You've still got the interest in language.
Yeah, no, and it's been
Yeah.
useful. My
Yeah.
CBH who I spoke to before was owned by the Japanese, and I spoke Japanese. It was really useful skill. So,
Oh, mate.
yeah.
Wow. And was it like, were you just drawn to copper because of the connection to your old man, or
No,
was that an
I'm,
interest or chance?
I'm not really a commodity man.
Yeah.
Copper just happens to be the thing that is useful, and we were looking for gold in the Yalgoo region for Tempest originally, and we have found a intrusive related system there. But when we started looking further abroad, I realised that the data doesn't match all the maps, that's particularly the government maps, and that's when we went, Golden Grove, and the same rocks go over here, and that's So,
Yeah. Okay.
So unfortunately, I get labelled as copper guy or whatever, but that's fine. I do know a bit about copper, but it's yeah.
You know more than I would. That's for sure.
So has mining taken you to a few different continents? Or
Absolutely,
mainly,
yeah. My whole that was why I did language. It's why I chose geology. I wanted to see the world. So yeah.
Beautiful.
What are your controversial views in the industry, mate? Like, what are your contrarian views?
I've got no shortage.
What
of those.
pisses you off?
Oh
Not well, at least you don't have to worry about heritage laws anymore.
no,
Possibly.
that one isn't so bad. Thing that annoys me is mining's viewed as this money pit this huge thing where so much money is being made. And honestly, you've talked about tonight, how many copper companies are making money at the moment? None. And so everyone thinks, we can just jump on and, it's like this big reward system for society that the mining industry just has to prop up everyone, and it's rubbish.
There's a lack of
It's the way of the
realisation.
cycle.
100%, and we just
you
happen to see, iron ore happens to be at a reasonably good price, and they're mining a fair bit in the Pilbara.
Yeah.
But everyone just goes, all mining just must make billions of dollars like that.
There's no recognition
no-
for the risk
no-
that's
nonsense.
required.
No
Yeah.
one wants to come in and help in 2015 when the stuff's worthless. and then the 1 or 2 years in the 10-year cycle where you make a bit of money, fucking super tax,
yeah,
you're
bang,
done.
then you go, then we get super MORT. Or
And then we get local heroes like Twiggy and Gina Reinhart protesting on the street.
What do you think about the whole world of small caps in terms of everyone has to pay money for IR, everyone has to pay money to go to conferences, everyone's fighting against each other, and all the money that's paid, everyone ends up in the same spot. You're in the small caps world.
I couldn't agree more. So one answer to that is
Is it a necessary evil?
I don't believe so. And I don't think this is super controversial, but I mean, I'm contrarian on just about everything in the industry. So
Oh, mate.
I want to break it. I won't lie to you.
Trav, meet Don.
In terms of the duplication, and I have copped some wrath online for this. So, but it's no secret that I'm also a director of a mining consultancy, Gold Mining Solutions. And
He plugged it.
Absolutely.
$2
I'm plugging it.
$2,000.
The reason we did that is because we want access to people, and we don't want to duplicate the same thing over and over in terms. So we have a group of people, and we've got equipment, and so instead of if we create 3 junior companies, instead of having to go buy 3 utes and hire 3 IR firms, we just use we synchronise all that together.
We touched on that in a different lens on the Pilbara one, and you go there and then there's railway.
It burns me, and the reason for it is there's a lot of insecurity in the industry, and so here's what happens. You guys know it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Is someone gets a plot of land and they're exploring in the juniors, and they go, "Yep, all right, this is my plot of land," and then they go, and then we call it Golem effect. They go, "My precious, I can't share," and so no data gets shared, no nothing, and then the person next door does exactly the same thing, and they don't talk to each other, and the person next door does that, and so you get this checkerboard of that repeating
Mate, there's
nonsense.
nothing worse than seeing your
Australia-
neighbour get rich.
It's not retail.
Australian
Like, we're not-
vanadium and technology metals are the best, I reckon. They're just literally the same ore body and two completely different processing plants.
Mate, they must
and
have investment
locations.
bankers coming every single week, just fucking merge the thing together.
Yeah, and you
You
might
got it.
have a chance.
Broken Hill's another classic example of that, and that Perilia, famous WA company, they just broke that. That was just retarded. They've got the two ends of the ore body, the highest grade, most valuable ore body of all time. They've got two ends, and there's the middle bit. Just merged companies together, but someone didn't want to lose their job, and bang, it's a shocker.
So what was that one? I'm not too up on that. Who owned what there?
Perilia owned the two ends,
Yeah.
and CBH owned the middle. That was CBH was Consolidated Broken Hill, the centre of the ore body.
Ah, righto.
And so
gotcha.
there was a really strong push to merge those companies at one point, and someone didn't want to lose their job, so he derailed the deal. Yeah, merging's not always a good thing, but needless repetition and ridiculous behaviour. And as I was going to say before, companies don't need to be afraid of having neighbours doing something well. Like if the best thing for a junior company, the best value thing you can do as a junior company is someone else make a discovery next door.
Neurology costs you nothing, mate.
Costs you nothing. So why would you prevent that process?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
the only thing competing for in our industry is shareholder attention.
And capital in some respects too.
And maybe capital.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hate what we've just talked about. It makes me really irritated. So everyone.
So
should
why'd you become an MD?
Yeah.
If you're, are you trying to, change the system from the inside?
No, I don't want to. I don't believe in changing systems, but I want to try and do things
Differently.
better and a good way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What about when your companies are getting low on money, but you still have to go to conferences and pay for them? Because conferences aren't bloody cheap.
No, they're certainly not.
Then losing presence, like as we said, like the whole balancing act.
Well, here's a good example of not doing what everyone else does. Is I know a lot of companies in it, they do a lot of promotion. A lot of MDs, they just live for promotion. That's their job, and fair enough. I prefer to run the company and do some promotion. And so I'm confident that there's not many companies with the amount of data and analytics that I do on that very topic.
you're mad nerds at Tempest. You're a lot,
So I am in it. I'll freely
he's
admit
got
it.
like
So
bloody
I've shown him.
figured out
Everything
that-
we do is measured, and when you guys release this, I'll look at how the stats of this go compared to our share price and a whole bunch of other metrics, and so therefore, when it comes to conferences, to answer your question directly, I look at where does most of our traffic on our website, for example, and our shareholder owning come from, and then I go, okay, I'm going to concentrate a conference in that area. And I have a conference here, and so I cover all those bases. And then I might add one into an area where I don't have any. So then I'm growing into it. I'm not just indiscriminately attending every conference just because everyone else is. So it's a strategic decision.
I almost think that conundrum that you're thinking about is actually analogous to ours in some ways.
Absolutely.
Because we started this media company, and we're like, how do the advice we got is mining media was saturated. And good luck to you. You probably have some interesting conversations, but it's a saturated market. And we looked at it with a different lens, and that's like, no, if we do something differently, we'll stand out. And I almost think, if promotion is part of your job title, which unfortunately it has to be, I would be exploring that job by thinking, what does everyone else think that they have to do, and do the exact fucking opposite.
Absolutely, it's something different. You got it.
Yeah. Like going to the conferences and presenting and doing the investor presentation and the investor webinars. It's like everyone does it, right? I don't think you have to. Like, maybe you think you have to, mate. Like, if I ran an IR company, I would advise the MD to fucking the best method of communication is authenticity, and that will resonate.
And the vast majority, we spoke at length. You at IMO? No,
Did we? Yeah, probably.
I think we were talking to IMO. There was, I'm not saying I'm the best speaker of all time, but I was on stage last in my session, and there was just three boomers got up and just went literally wrote, and the most monotone voice. And I mean, the content wasn't interesting, the delivery definitely wasn't interesting, and everyone basically left and then came back when I started speaking, and I was like, okay, that says something about how it should be done. And you know, Bill broke the record, not the record, the model a little bit last year when he got up and dropped the mic and everything. You know?
Yeah.
But no one else has done an entertaining presentation at Diggers this year. So I do. If I was up there, I would be. I'd be walking around stage and carrying on. But again, I'm not the greatest speaker of all time. I'm not criticising, but if everyone's doing the same thing and they all sound boring, what's the point?
Yeah.
Agree with you.
You don't stand out. You blend in. You become part of the blur. You have to do it differently. I don't even think you need to be on the stage.
Yeah.
It's kind of my
in fact,
gut feel.
Not to necessarily give Tempest another plug, but the we're using a thing called Investor Hub. I don't know if you're aware. It's guys from Melbourne from Fresh Equities. They've made this platform, and it combines all your multimedia and your announcements and everything. And so when my announcement goes out, it's got I always have a YouTube video that goes with it, and I'm trying not to make them boring. Like I had a dead set taking the piss one the other day, but it gave the information about the announcement I put out, but I was like, let's cross to someone in the field, and it was me. I was like, oh, that looks like me.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard because
you don't want to make it cheesy and gross, but it was. But I think that one came across all right. So,
yeah, that's good.
Try and do something different, like you're saying. That doesn't require being on stage and spending a bunch of money on nothing. So.
Yeah. Have you noticed? Have you evolved the way because you can go in to do a podcast and just be promotional as fuck and bloody just like hammer. Have you evolved the way you do it? You're not too bloody spivvy, I don't think.
No, I refuse to be. I mean, I can just feel like anyone else, but I'm evolving in that I'm putting less of the boring stuff in there and just trying to give the salient points and give authenticity. If it's not great, I'm going to say it's not great, and if it is good, I'm going to say it's good. But
Mate, are you going to reveal your pseudonymous Twitter handle?
I don't use social media. Legit, I don't.
Not in my name, anyway. What else bloody gets you? What else is bloody? What's something real random and interesting in the mining industry, Donnie? Something bloody a bit quirky. You would have something. You're a man that does a lot of research. You look at data.
I don't do that much research. I haven't got time.
Is there an anomaly out there that we don't know about?
I'll tell you one.
Should we plug into a Twitter Spaces live, and we can just talk to them at the same time? I'll do that. Keep talking.
I don't know whether we want to put this one on, but so I was driving back from site with a friend the other day, and we went, and this is nerdy, but
I'm ready.
Okay, so
JD's got his glasses on.
I struggle. I know, like many geos and engineers or whatever, I'm definitely a little bit on the spectrum. I struggle with. We had this conversation before. I struggle with reality versus not reality that we seem to encounter in the world. Like, so for me, you go 1 + 1 = 2. That's objective reality.
Yeah.
And then you've got 1 + 1 plus gender plus climate change plus whatever, and they're all important things, but they shouldn't affect 1 + 1 = 2. And so I've come up with this model where I go, okay, it's like it's a simultaneous equation where you've got 1 + 1 = 2 over here, and then you've got 1 + 1 = you can't answer that over here. And they used to, and that's what the market is now. And so they used to be a Venn diagram that interacted, but now I believe they're just not related. The reality and I know a company that my friend was just referenced. He said, why don't we invest in this company? I went, well, that guy's a criminal. That project's fucked. Blah 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 blah. And that's objective reality. Like, that's not my opinion. But they're $1 billion market cap. So
I think I know the company you're talking about.
there's probably a few. So
does it go both the other way, like some big evaluations on things that shouldn't be like that, and things that
and I don't want
exploration companies were $30 million a couple of years ago. Now they're 8.
But Don, I don't want to push back for a second. Yeah. I don't get the impression that that's a new revelation. Like, I agree with what you're saying, but it feels like something that's gone back for longer than I've been around.
It's absolutely true, but I think the gap the amount of overlap between reality and the market is going like that away from each other. So I agree with you that there's absolutely a variance between those two things.
Maybe it's just a factor when you're in a bull market for so long, and then
Maybe. Yep.
So what's going to bring it back to bloody?
I keep talking about copper, but that's not.
Bring it back to 1 + 1 = 2.
I don't know. I think that's maybe less social media and more people, actually doing useful stuff might help. But
That's true. Because that's what all this IR thing and stuff's come about from, is fucking social media and internet.
I mean,
And people's found an edge, and now it's just everywhere.
IR is important, but it's also different to marketing, and marketing is also different to sales.
Yeah.
And
Very good. Bloody, here he is. Fucking, the fella I played golf with this morning. He's fucking, he wasn't playing much golf. He was broken the whole time on the phone, walking around. And it was a 4-ball best ball, and we were supposed to use one of his drives, but he's on the fucking phone all the time. So it's like, he's technically not playing. Good stuff, Donnie.
Yeah.
The life, and that was like a great little random chat. I love it.
good.
Find Golden Grove. That'd be good. I'm pretty sure if you do, you'd do well for yourself. So it's in your best interest.
We're looking at And yeah, you're right. I'm major shareholder Tempest, so yeah, I want it to happen as much as anyone else. So yeah. But we're exploration's a number game. You just got to keep churning through and try and find where the next thing is. So
Yeah, love it.
yeah.
Lovely. Righto, bros.
Awesome.
Fucking. The information contained in this episode of Money of Mine is of general nature only and does not take into account the objectives, financial situation, or needs of any particular person. Before making any investment decision, you should consult with your financial advisor and consider how appropriate the advice is to your objectives, financial situation, and needs.